Annoying for you. Let me help you with that. Let me let me help you. There you go. Now you never have to hear that on this
Okay.
channel again. That's for
Let
sure.
let me
Hey
see.
Carrie. Hey
I
Alexander.
I've got to
Hey
check.
Ken. Hey Storm. Let's see. What?
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Let's see. Is it Murden? Is it
Mierden.
Murden? Murden? Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, 34.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, are you a Christian or a believer of the Christian God?
I was raised Christian. I vibe with Jesus, but I'm not in the cult.
Oh, you're Sadak Makbitosh. Okay. Yeah, so trans women are women. And women
Yes.
should use the women's restroom.
Yes. I
Okay.
didn't want to come on here to prove anyone wrong. I agree with this. I wanted to add
Okay.
constructively. I think having very strongly binary restroom choices is part of the problem. If we had generic human restroom with a locking door, I feel like we wouldn't have to fight so much for rights to use it, if that makes sense.
No, no. I think you're definitely right. I think that would get rid of the need to fight for it, but it's kind of ridiculous that you have to or anybody would have to fight for it at all.
I
So
agree.
so
I
I don't think
agree.
that's the issue, but I think that could solve some of the issues.
I just want to take away whatever ammunition the fascists think they have in this argument.
Oh, for sure. And I
Like,
do
my
appreciate that.
bathroom at home does not have a gender. I welcome anybody who needs to use the restroom to please use my restroom. You know? Like, I don't stop my friends and say, hey, gender check.
Yeah. Jordan, why do you say win guest, but a second ago you said it's ridiculous to think that men are women and women are men? But then you said W guest. Guest is agreeing with me.
I do agree.
Yeah, in Europe, there are no gendered bathrooms. So it's weird to me all the time how Americans say, but oh my God, you have to have gendered bathrooms. Nobody else does. We're the only weirdos who do. And then our bathrooms are weird to begin with. You walk into an American restroom and the stalls, like, why even have stalls if you're going to have 2-inch cracks between the sidewalls and the doors? You know,
Yep.
where all you have to do is walk by and you can see in every stall. It's so stupid. And I've had friends from Europe who've come here and said, why do Americans have stalls like this? This is weird. I don't know why. We are weird.
I feel like it's a possible hangover from segregation, and that they just want to be able to police people's private lives. Like, I see no difference between a men's and women's bathroom and a blacks and whites only uh, water fountain.
It's
The
very
it,
it's interesting that you say that because there are multiple reasons. If, as far as I've looked up, some of them are from the women's side of saying that they didn't exactly care for that. Most of it came down uh, from women entering workplaces. As far as I can tell, that it was kind of a segregation on quote unquote protecting women, um, and some of it came from smoking in bathrooms, because that was typically considered like a men's thing at the time, and then some of it came down to like there are a number of different reasons that I've seen being presented. Um, Mostly, I think that it was trying to um, push women and men to be apart. So it was a segregatory issue.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for
I
sure. Thank you for being here. I am going to move on, try to find somebody that wants to debate, but you are
Okay.
awesome, and thank you for being here. W for guest in the chat. Not you, Jordan. He agrees with me, not you, Jordan. Jordan is a chirper, but I don't think he has what it takes to come up in this live.
No, we got a couple of chirpers in the chat today.
I'm trying to, because my whole Chromebook crashed last time we were live, and I had to sweep the whole thing. And so now I'm having problems signing into certain things, so that is what I'm doing over here. Trying to get signed in to things, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Let me get Video Ninja pulled up in case somebody joins over there. But yeah, if you disagree with the background or you agree with it, we would like to hear your comments if you agree with it. We'll keep you up for a couple minutes, but other than that, go ahead and request up if you disagree. I would love to have that chance to talk to somebody. Well, Emmy, then join up if you disagree. I am not a trans woman, no. Do I look like a trans woman? I would consider myself more like... I don't know. I go by they, them most of the time.
Wait, Joyful, I didn't know your pronoun.
Yeah, it's in my bio.
Oh, it's in your main, not this one. Okay. I just generally refer to individuals as they, them until they tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
I did not know that you specifically mentioned that, so.
Yeah.
I know we've had conversations, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, usually I just write they, him, because I am very mask presenting, but, I don't want to get too much into my personal life, but, yeah, there's definitely, a semblance of not feeling a part of any set binary. Emmy, what does that mean? What are the question marks for?
Emmy's one of the chirpers. She's just been sitting down there wanting to.
And TikTok, once again, is not pushing me out because I'm doing an LGBTQ background, which is nice. Thank you, TikTok. You're amazing.
Amy, why don't you come up and speak about your questions? It seems like you have a lot of them given the number of question marks you presented.
Maybe her question mark
Do you consider
button
MB
gets sticky, you know, and it just gets stuck.
No, it'd be a subset of trans. Being NB is definitely a subset of trans. Oh, so Emmy, so I do not conform to any binary. Like, I do things that most men don't do. I just don't do it in public because of the people I live around and where I live. I do not have the fortitude to do those things. Maybe someday I will, but I do not right now. Kyle says gross. What's gross, Kyle? Do you want to come up and tell us about what's gross. Hey, holy honkers, how are you? That is maybe one of my favorite profile pics. Jesus with some huge knockers.
Hey, always,
Hi,
can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
26.
Okay, so trans women are women, and women should use the women's restroom. What do you say about that?
But they weren't born a woman? So
Yep.
that's why I was confused on why are they women and they weren't born that way.
Well,
Did
there's
you say you were born a woman or?
Would you say a bicycle is a car?
Well, no one's born a woman or a man always.
No one is born a woman or a man?
No
What about
single
female or
individual is
male?
born. Well, because those words carry like a definition, and those definitions are attributed to adult individuals.
You believe in genetics?
No one is born a woman or a man because people aren't born as adults, and no one is born as those characteristics.
So
Like,
you know the difference between a female or a male?
okay, now we're getting to it. Female and male are not the words that you use to describe, because there's a difference between woman and male and female and male. Because female could describe my dog, but woman could not describe my dog, right?
Okay, I get your point.
All right. So some individuals are born female, and some individuals are born male, and some individuals are born neither.
Okay.
So no one is born as a woman or as a male. And also genitalia.
Yeah, because that's what describe a female or a male.
So you're saying chromosomes.
One have a vagina.
No.
One
The,
have breasts.
is a man the same thing as a male? Are those two terms
A
synonymous?
man. Okay, so you're going in more of like a subjective view, not an objective view.
No, this is
When it comes on to that subjective views, that everybody have their opinion. I have no problem with trans women at all. I believe people should, live in their own truth, and there's
okay.
always
What is
but
subjective?
that also, when you say stuff like trans women are
I'm
women,
sorry. Excuse me. I need to. Excuse me, please. I have to interrupt, please. Joyful, they are saying that something you're doing is causing the live to lag, and they're saying this on TikTok. I don't know what. I just wanted you to know.
Oh, it was because I was teacupping, I'd say.
Oh, that was causing it. Okay.
Yeah. In all way. No, the term that I'm asking you is man. The term man synonymous with male. Yes or no? That's all I need you to answer. Can they be used interchangeably and mean the same thing?
no.
Okay, so you do recognize that there is a difference between being born male and the term man.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is the difference that we're going to speak about on how, yes, trans individuals may be born a biological, what you would describe as a biological sex, or they may be intersex. There are bimodal structures of sex and sex differences, right? But when we're talking about the term man and woman, it is not the same as male and female, right?
Okay.
So when we talk about trans women being women, we're not saying that trans women have the genitalia, right? That's kind of implied with the term trans.
Okay. I see.
Because trans legitimately means not in alignment with. That is what that prefix means, right?
Okay.
So when we talk about sex versus gender, we're talking about other things in specific relation to the brain. And I don't use this argument really as much. I used to use it when I was less familiar because I don't think it's needed, because then you just almost borderline on what we call transmedicalist, and we say that we need the data in order to validate identities. But individuals who are trans are individuals who are in a worldview and who are women. And they may not have the genitalia, but they have a specific characteristic about them, especially in cultures or subcultures, which they feel more in alignment with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this happens as early as the second trimester, as far as brain activity goes.
So you believe that if a 9-year-old say, oh, a 9-year-old boy say, oh, I feel I'm a woman, you should just entertain that?
Well, no, we have a criteria. We need certain consistent like values in place. It's not believing. It's not like the first time your child says it, then you're like, all of a sudden, let's change their world. This has a lot more to do with, okay, well, I'm going to take my child seriously. Because, by the way, gender itself is in the brain is formed much earlier than 9. Like I said, the second trimester, but general 3 to 7, 3 to 8 is where these are kind of hardlined in child development. It's the same way you didn't have to be told you were a girl when you were a little girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, the same knowing that you had is the same knowing that trans individuals have.
Oh, okay. So they don't have to say it, they just act like it and be like it, okay.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that. It's not like we're going out there and saying as soon as a child is coming up to you and saying, I am a girl, they're like going out and doing anything. It's consistent, insistent, and they have these values. And there is therapeutical practice, there is a multifaceted team taking place in today's society. Like, it's not like we're out there just taking people and performing surgeries like certain political parties want us to believe.
And I think it's important to note that, like, when you have this strict binary stance that you take, you have the issue of there are literally people born with like out the sexual organs, the schmexual organs that would be needed to be either male or female. So what would you do with those types of people?
Repeat your question.
Yeah, so there are people that are born without like their sex organs.
Okay.
All right, so what would we label them if men and women are neatly fit into these categories? Like,
To be honest with you, I bet you that's rare cases. But
yep.
in the term what you're talking about, there probably would be like a female or a male genetically. It's just that they have some abnormality or that occur that happen to make them not develop properly.
Atypicality, and on which basis are you going to talk? This is what I was going to get you into. Is it chromosomes? Is it genitalia? Is it brain activity? Because you can have chromosomes, because not all sex chromosomes are the ones that are doing all involvement when it comes down to hormones, right? You could have so many kinks in a system because of how complicated biology is. Biology is this massive spectrum, right? It's not just people fit neatly into a box like you learn in fifth grade, because biology is prescriptive. Prescriptive. It's not descriptive, or it's descriptive, not prescriptive. Excuse me. It is just describing the things that we're seeing, and you can see someone who maybe doesn't even have the right receptors, right, in their body, or they may not have the right hormones in their body, despite having certain. They may have XX or XXY, they may have XYY. Like, there is a ton of different variants in these chromosomal difference. And then these make up genitalia, and then brain activity is another one, because there are receptors in the brain that may not be there.
Okay. Well, and the second thing is, I don't think they should use no damn bathroom. Bye.
You just came out to be a bigot. So that person didn't listen to anything you said. They just came out to be a bigot.
That's unfortunate with these topics. You get a lot of those that really have already made up their mind and don't care. But there are the people that just don't understand, so I think it's important to have these conversations. Regardless if the person we're talking to
there are people
is receptive
who are
or
listening.
not. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, there are lots of people listening right now. And I learn every time, by the way, because I don't know shit about science, okay?
You
I learn
can't.
every time.
If
All
you
right, guys.
Like genetically test somebody walking into a bathroom, like right there with your laser eyes, like your genetically laser eyes, there's no way that you would know somebody is actually trans or not. It could be a female that identifies as a woman, a cis hetero woman or whatever, that is very handsome. You know, and
Yeah,
all
we
you're
can't
doing.
stereotype people and vision. And in
Right.
fact, there are androgynous individuals that have phenotypical expression of both male and female.
And we've already heard multiple stories about women that might not look, very womanly, being, harassed in the proper bathroom that they're supposed to be, being followed by men that are presenting as men, following them into the bathrooms because they want to protect their children, when really all they're doing is making it worse for women.
There was a story of this lesbian woman that I heard recently who was just mask presenting, who was waiting on a girlfriend outside of a bathroom, didn't even go in, and she was beaten to a bloody pulp just for even being in the vicinity of a restroom.
Right, and she wasn't trans. She was probably she just was a tomboy, or however you want to call it,
She was just mask presenting. Like, she had short hair, she had a wider jawline, and just like a wider facial structure, and didn't have any upper body or lower body.
Right.
Which happens in a lot of women, by the way, or females, because that's how they want to, females have this characteristic all the time.
Rio, not all women can give birth. It's that simple.
It's kind of weird. I'm a woman, Benny, and I can't give birth.
Yeah, my mom can't give birth.
Sad.
It's weird. I'm technically a man, or I'm a male and a man, and I can't have children either.
Yeah,
Emmy, you were trying to be disrespectful, but the problem was you were disrespectful with me, and I'm a co-host, and the mod didn't like it that you did that. So be careful, okay?
According to Rio, women who can't give birth aren't women. This affects some 20
a large 20-some percent of biological females would not fall into the category of woman. Yeah.
And these are uterus having women that Rio just said, never mind, you're not women anymore. Endometriosis society would definitely have words with you, and other societies that.
I've heard horror stories about endometriosis.
Oh yeah, I have two sisters with it.
Oh, it just sounds awful.
Yeah.
My
Guys,
daughter has
I wanted to make
endometriosis.
a quick announcement. So later this month, at some point, I'm not sure when, because I'm still trying to work out a schedule for two people. I have a trans woman and her wife are going to hopefully come up to join us to discuss kind of their journey in this, and then I'm going to have some other people from the community up, and we're just going to have a pride night where we're not debating. We're just talking to people that are like very much affected as part of the community, and talk to them, see how the deconstruction community can do more for the LGBTQ community, because I think that is something that's big when it comes to deconstructing, is kind of removing this transphobic and homophobic and all the racism, all of it. Like trying to remove those parts of religion as well as just getting rid of the religion itself.
My favorite people in atheist.
Somebody's got an echo here. I think it's Red. I'm going to mute him. Okay, go ahead, Ashlyn.
Is one of the reasons why you're one of my favorite people in the atheist community, because sometimes I feel like we forget why we deconstructed, and it's to get rid of these harmful, well, I'm not gonna lie, I probably didn't. I don't always understand the background in deconstruction sometimes. I don't think that I ever really was a believer, but like, but yeah, this is why you're one of my favorite people, is because you bring it back home to just being a good person and remembering ideologies.
Yeah, I want to like say like it's one of my goals is to like make it more than just deconstructing, you know, Christianity, like deconstructing racism, deconstructing phobias, deconstructing misogyny. You know, like there's a lot that we could point out.
No. Ripple, I just want to point out that nobody is advocating for men going in women's restrooms. You misread my prompt. Trans women are women. They're not men. Women should use the women's restroom. Nobody is advocating for men to be up in your bathroom.
Red, you can come off mute now. Let's see if your echo is gone.
Yeah, you might have to swipe out and swipe back in. If it is. Oh, it's
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
you
now.
still have it.
Now I got it straight.
Echo.
just like go check your text messages and then come back in. It should fix it.
You should come back to the app now. It should fix it. And then if you can unmute and let me know your age for TikTok purposes.
Main dish, no,
Red.
aren't men. They're women.
Main dish, no, they are women. They aren't men. And not only that, cannot find me a article that is proofed where in a public restroom you have a trans person going in there to do that.
Main dish, what makes a man a man? Is it a beard? Is it a low voice? Is it bigger muscles? Is it not having breasts? Like, do you understand? Like that's what we mean by like societal, you know, kind of markers for what defines what a woman or a man is. That's what we mean by gender.
Okay, you guys, now listen. And the only way people are going to come up here is if we stop arguing with them in chat. Because if we don't argue with them, they'll get their ass in the guest box. So, Ethan, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I have to drop real quick, but I'll be right back. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay. All right, you guys keep tapping the screen, sharing out the live. And Joyful has a gift goal today of the hats and mustaches. Send them up those hats and mustaches. if you've got the coin. If not, sending up roses, lightning bolts, gifting the panel, doing all those things, they all help. One of the things that helps the most, and it's only one coin, is going up at that heart that's next to Joyful's name and hitting that heart and sending him up a heart me. It's one coin. It makes you a part of his team, but in order for it to boost him, you need to go back up, click that heart again, and then claim any of your team points there, and it will help boost him into the algorithm. Also, we still need 45 more shares, so I'm going to be turning off the comments until we get those 45 shares. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I'm 33.
All right. Women are trans women are women, and women
she
should
just
use
had a
women's-
question, Crystal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the only question that I had, and I'm not sure how simple or how complex this question is, but I guess the question is, if there weren't like certain social markers for like what a man or a woman is supposed to represent, like, do you guys think that people would still choose to like transfer to a different gender from the gender that they were assigned at birth?
Well, that they're not assigned genders at birth. First off, they're assigned sexes at birth, and two, if gender wasn't a thing, then there would be no way to be a trans individual because it's incongruency with gender to the sex assigned at birth. So it couldn't be a thing because that's what the term transgender implicates.
Okay, and then I guess a second question, because I'm not, a trans hater at all. Like, I actually have a few trans friends, and we're cool. I accept trans people for who they are. I've always wondered, like, is, like, I guess, is the difference between, like, transsexual and transgender, like, whether or not, like, they actually reassign their, like, genitalia, or, like, can you be transgender and have the opposite
Well,
gender's genitalia?
one is generally designated as a slur, and it's old terminology because of the age of really what we would call transmedicalism. And then the other is a more modern term that when we're talking about trans individuals, we're talking about someone, even if they have transitioned medically, would still fit the category of gender. Because if it's transsexual, that term doesn't make any sense, right? Because a trans individual is not what you would describe as a genitalia characteristic at this point. A biological, I don't even really care for the term biological because that can mean so much, but just in the context of this conversation, biologically, that it's just an outdated term that is kind of derogatory, and I would just advocate for not using it.
Okay. And I'm not, sorry to be talking to your comments.
Oh.
I'm not tokenizing.
Yeah, well, okay,
Um,
so
I know about tokenizing. I'm surely not doing that. I came up here to ask questions so that I'm more informed and I could be a
I
better person.
appreciate that.
yeah.
I appreciate that you're coming up to educate yourself, and I think you're very sincere, and I really do appreciate it. And I'm learning as you're asking these questions, so thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the problem in our society is that we're scared of things we don't understand. So people asking questions is where it all begins, where we can begin to accept things that are scary to us.
It's confusing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard not to misgender people sometimes. Like, we're gonna screw up, and it's gonna be embarrassing sometimes. But I've learned to really not take it personally if I am corrected by somebody. Like, I actually take that as they want me to be better about it. So, like, they're actually like, it's a way of them caring, about like how I conduct myself to other people and make sure that I'm, not making like these kind of faux pas. And I think that that's a great way to go about it, is asking questions and just trying to just overall just like be better about things.
Oh, for sure. Saga over on YouTube Bigotry and grammar do not go together. That's all I have to say. People over on YouTube, though, please hit that thumbs up button, interact with the live, make sure you're chatting, doing things that are going to push it out into the algorithm. I appreciate each and every one of you. But thank you for being here. I'm going to drop you down, and we are going to go on to Ethan. But I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Big W in the chat for all, because I really appreciated that conversation. Hey, Ethan, I'm sorry. I really can't remember if you told me your age before you dropped down.
No, I did. 30 years old.
Okay. So, trans women are women, and women should use the women's restroom.
Gotcha. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. So I have a few questions. So from my understanding that genetics have with XX for males and XY for females. Now, for the trans community, if you are born as a woman with XY, or well, for this instance, we're talking about trans women. So if you're born as a man,
pause for a second. You're not born as a woman, right? Like, so you're born as a baby. You could be born a female or male or
gotcha.
intersexual, but you're not
not born as a woman. Yeah, you're right.
A woman to me is like a Barbie doll. It's got breasts, it's got long hair.
A full matured female.
Yeah.
So if you're born a female or a male, so in this case,
I would even go farther than saying mature female. I would just say like a woman fits the certain characteristics that is expected of women for that society. Like some societies might say, like in the 20s, flappers, like women had short hair back then. That kind of would make people think that they were more masculine.
It's like first century or like the early Jewish centuries, where basically when a woman would reach menstrual cycle, she was ready for marriage, type of deal. That would be their consideration of marriage.
12.5 in the Jewish time period.
What did you say?
The age was 12 to 12 and a half.
Gotcha. Yeah. So all right, we'll stick to the trans woman thing here. So, a man I keep saying man, a male who's born with XX chromosomes, later in life decides that they want to become a woman. How does the switching of genders work when the chromosomes can't be changed? And I heard you say earlier, Joyful, that man is now a woman. Do they still recognize that they still have those chromosomes and they just deal with it? They're like, yeah, whatever, but I still see myself as this gender? Or like, how does that work?
Can I? Joyful.
No different than an intersex person lives their life with the opposite chromosomes to the way their body developed. No different.
What's the chromosomes in an intersex?
There's a use of language here that I have a big issue with.
Okay.
That they decide to change into the gender.
Thank you.
That they don't decide.
They accept. They are. Yeah, they accept
they
who they actually are.
Or accept or recognize. Generally speaking, when we're talking about gender, this is really, really early on in development. When we're talking about, in many cases, the second trimester, and then reaffirmed back to 2 and 8 is some of the latest. And then we wind up with children who are starting to develop this sense of self. And I always ask people, did someone have to tell you whether you were a boy or a girl? Ethan?
No. Nobody told me.
Yeah.
I just knew.
Yeah. That's the same thing with trans individuals. They generally all typically have this sort of incongruency or inconsistency when it comes down to how they feel.
Would it be more of like I'm not the smartest guy, so would that be more of like a confusion in their life?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's confusion necessarily. I would say that there are inconsistencies, right? When they're acting in social manners and they're doing things and they're told certain things, that it's going to look like if you were told as a boy that you were a girl, you'd be like, it never meshes with you if you were told that consistently. Like Ethan, if I was like, hey woman, you'd be like, well, I'm clearly not a woman. That's not meshing with me. Like, why are you calling me this?
I got you. Understood. So, I mean, going back to the original question. So, we're just throwing out the situation hypothetical here. Um,
Yeah.
uh, let's say an 18-year-old male wants to become a woman, but they still have the chromosomes. What is now the scientific term, or like they're still born with the male chromosomes?
Mhm.
Do they ignore? I'm sorry, my kids are talking. Do they just ignore the chromosomes and they still view themselves that way?
Yeah, absolutely the same as an intersex person.
Yeah, so chromosomes don't make you a man or a woman, right? So
Yeah.
what could be, it could be as simple as they just start wearing dresses and then that makes them a woman. They grow their hair out, because society at that time, says that women have long hair. Maybe they take estrogen to be like more like, you don't have to get like your genitalia changed. You could just start, and that's what they mean by gender affirming. And we have gender affirming like care or gender affirming things that we do as men, like growing a beard.
Yeah.
That's gender affirming. Like working out, that can be gender affirming.
With that
There's a
mind, with
lot
that
of it.
mindset, I don't mean to interrupt, but with that mindset, are we kind of throwing like the science and the biological perspective out of the situation at that point, though? Because like
No.
biologically, we are born with chromosomes. I mean, I know that XX is for male and XY is for female, but
Well,
if
that's only
we
one. That's only
if
one piece, and I hate to cut you off here. That is only one piece. Genitalia is one piece. Chromosomes are one piece, and then we have receptors, and then we have brain, and we have the BSTC that we can thank for really consistent studies on gender, because gender is not anything that has to do with sex, and you're kind of conflating the two, and I understand it because in fifth grade biology we're kind of given this really basic lesson that doesn't actually describe the massive amounts of diversity in life, right? When we're talking about trans individuals, we're talking about someone who doesn't fit into this perfect little categorical box that biology has given to you, but nothing really does. There are lies told to you in early biology to make it simpler to explain to fifth graders.
so,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, Joyful.
Well, I just wanted to add on to a little bit of what Benny was saying about like even as a man, we would have gender affirming care. As a woman, we'd have gender affirming care. Women find it in a lot of ways, whether it would be plastic surgeries, it could be all sorts of things that could be gender affirming to you. But like my brother, this is a real life, for instance, he had I'm trying to remember, it's like gynecomastia or something like that.
It
Yes.
happens when you have too much estrogen in your body while you're growing up.
And it made him start to grow
Oh yeah, no,
breasts.
no, funny enough, I have that. Yeah, I got it
Oh
from
yeah,
taking,
and so you
I got it
got,
from taking
I'm
ladies'
sure,
medicine.
yep, you got gender affirming care to keep you from growing breasts.
I didn't.
So it's really,
I stopped taking the medicine, but I understand what you're saying for sure.
well, yeah. But like my brother had to have surgery because it was so far along before anything happened
Yeah.
with it.
I'm
So,
at
like-
like the very minimal part where I'm like, I even told my wife, I was like, I got to get these things cut off. They look ridiculous.
Dude,
I was like,
I
this is not
feel you.
good. I got to get this thing. I look so bad, so fat and overweight right now. My stomach's flat, but I got these things. No, I understand that for sure. Like, things happen in the womb, and we take like the estrogen thing and all that stuff. I don't mean to harp on the same question, but if we, like Benny before, you said, we have the science, we have the biological chromosomes that make you a male. But do the chromosomes go away when the male decides to start wearing dresses?
No, so like you would still tell your doctor that you were, like you were assigned male at birth. Like you still have things like you might have testicular cancer, like chances.
Prostate exams.
Prostate exams that you need to do, like even though you are a woman, you still have a prostate, right? So like if you are trans, and that is something that should just be that you would just communicate to your doctor, or if you got arrested, that might be something that you might want to communicate before they, throw you into a general population with a bunch of people that are going to be taking showers and all of a sudden you don't have the same genitalia, things like that. But that's really the distinction between gender and sex. Sex is more biological. Gender is more a construct of a society.
I got you. I understand. My time's getting cut short here with the kids, but if I have time later, I will come back up.
Oh, Ethan, I appreciate you, man. You've been a great guest, and thank you.
Yep. Have a
As
great
always.
I appreciate you. Have a good night.
You too, guys.
The last several times Ethan's been up, it's been a very pleasant conversation. I do appreciate Ethan. He seems to be more open to learning about these things rather than getting in a big fight over these things. So
Yeah, I appreciate
that is awesome.
I love that.
Jared, if you would like to come up, you are in the guest box.
Not Jared.
Hey, Jared, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I need to put out a trigger warning.
32.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put out a trigger warning. Jared is up here. Yeah.
Okay. Jared,
boy.
before
Go
we
ahead.
start, Jared, hang on. You guys, I need you to keep tapping the screen. I need you to get to 25,000 likes. 25,000 by 15 after the hour, or I'm turning the comments off again. I'm not sure why we're slowing down on the likes lately and the sharing and the stuff, but you have to keep up the same energy here that you do for everybody else, okay? Also, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, to do so today. And if you have subscribed, think about gifting out subscriptions today to the chat because they love it. And also, don't forget the gift goal. Thank you all for being here, though. You guys, we really appreciate you being here. We know that you could be anywhere else tonight, and then you chose to be here and joyful, and I appreciate it immensely. Jared, trans women are women, and women should use women's restrooms.
I think you might have to.
Okay, when you say trans women, are you talking about guys that go through the whole transition process
Yeah, I
to
was about
be
to
a
say,
woman?
Crystal, you're gonna have to use smaller words for Jared. I
I
know
wish I
Yes.
was correct if I said
women are
anything
not
else.
big words,
Tra-
but for Jared, it might be a bit.
Trans women are men who are people that were assigned male at birth that then realize that their trueness is found in the gender of being a woman.
Okay, yeah, that's completely false. A man will never be a woman, and a woman will never be a man. No matter what they do
I agree
to
with
themselves.
you, Jared. A man will never be a woman, and a woman will never be a man. And isn't that crazy how we agree? But trans women are women.
Hey, Jared.
No, that's still a guy.
Jared, my
Nope.
JJ does not make me woman. Okay.
Jared, have you had your
Can you give birth,
chromosome?
ma'am?
Jared, Crystal can't. Is she a woman?
Yes, only women give birth. Men can't
No,
give birth.
no.
That's
Crystal
crazy thinking.
cannot. Crystal cannot give birth. Is
Crystal
she
has
a woman?
I can't give birth, Jared.
You said you cannot?
Yep.
No, I
So
can't.
is she a woman?
Yeah, only women
I'm
give birth.
physically
Men can't
incapable.
give birth. What's wrong with you guys?
Oh my God,
Now, if a
You're
woman-
not
Jared.
answering my
If
question.
a woman has,
Jared,
if a woman has like
I
a medical
cannot
issue where a
give
woman
birth,
cannot
Jared.
have a child,
Uh-huh.
that's understandable.
Yep.
Okay, so then your story isn't true. You just showed us that that's not true.
How? If I just told you women can give birth, but if a woman
Some
has
women-
like a medical issue where she cannot have children, that's understandable.
Yeah,
Then you
trans
can say
women
something
have a
like that.
medical issue to where they can't give birth.
So you're saying
Oh my gosh,
the
dude.
only-
So you believe a guy can be a woman? You believe that?
I believe that a person that was assigned male at birth can be a woman. Yes.
So a guy can be a woman? How?
All right, so
Hold on.
I disagree with the way you are framing the question because a guy is not a woman.
No. Jared is actually oddly pro trans in this actual, like how he's wording it, because I gave birth to my daughter, but now I have PCOS and I can't. So according to Jared, I'm trans.
Yep.
There's no
Ashlyn,
such thing. Oh my gosh. So you're a woman who gave birth, but now you can't have children. Woman, there's no such thing as transgenderism. That's a false ideology.
Well,
Man,
no
it's
one,
deception.
luckily, no
It's
one
a
is
lie.
saying transgenderism
Yeah.
except bigots.
Oh my gosh.
I would
Jared,
agree.
You guys are
Jared,
believing
Jared,
nonsense.
Jared,
with
have
this
you
stuff.
ever had your chromosomes checked?
Are you sure you're
What
male?
do you mean have I ever had my chromosomes checked?
Have you-
Yeah. Do you know that you're actually XY chromosome?
You talking about me being a male? Yeah, I'm a male. That's what I was. That's
No,
what I
some
am when I came
people-
out of my mother's womb. Same with you.
Some people with male genitalia have female chromosomes, or what is typically known as female chromosomes. So how do you know that you have male chromosomes?
Have you specifically been stereotyped?
Man, you guys are so crazy. It's unbelievable. All right, but no, I've never been tested for XY chromosomes or anything like that. No,
So
I
you
have
might-
not.
so
A
your
male
chromosomes
is a male, and a
So your
female
chromosomes
is a
may be
female.
female chromosomes?
Dude, that's real stupid for you thinking like that. Come on,
Nope,
dude.
there's literally people in this world that we live in, Jared, with that going on. They have male genitalia. There are some that can even produce offspring that are intersex.
I know. I personally know.
Okay, so a woman is having a baby. Okay,
Well, no.
a woman
I'm
has
saying,
a child.
no,
So only
male.
a woman can give birth. Males
Yeah.
can't give birth. And she's
No,
a
males
woman.
can if you're just talking about
The only
chromosomes.
thing a woman's good for is to
No,
have a
dude.
baby. That's all women wherever
A woman
need
can
it.
give
Oh, I'm
birth.
sorry.
Men cannot give birth. You're believing a bunch of lies.
I'm gonna just start calling Jared ma'am because we don't know if Jared has XX
Yeah, we don't know
Eric-
what
Wow, how
chromosomes Jared has.
stupid are you, boy?
No,
Oh my
no,
gosh, how
Eric,
stupid are you?
y'all-
Ma'am, you're being
Eric-
Eric
emotional.
wanted to come up and
Yeah, Eric.
Eric wanted to come up and say something.
Yeah, well, it just was interesting. Well, first, I'm really curious, like, how does he define a woman and how does he define female? What is the distinction between the two?
A woman is a female. A female is a woman. A woman is your mother, dude. Oh my goodness.
No,
Are you guys that stupid?
Well, let me.
Oh my goodness, what's wrong with you guys?
So
Well,
you
know
don't
what?
think there's
You
a
sound
distinction?
stupid because I'm a woman and I don't
Wait.
agree with you.
Wait, my mom is a different woman than Crystal. Crystal, you're not a woman now.
Apparently,
Hey, Jared, I just want to point out something. Jared, I'm not convinced that you do have a male member, so can you DM me that?
thank you, Cosmere, for the subscription.
Oh my gosh, you're so dumb.
Well,
Well, how do we solve
okay.
this without checking?
All right. Let me stop with the
well,
insulting. Okay.
let's.
All right. Well,
Well, let me. So
Bible was God only
Give
created
me a
male
second.
and female. That's
give me
the way he.
so the reason I'm asking this because like female and woman are distinct in actual characteristics in the vocab. They're not synonyms that you just grant one to the other. When we're saying trans woman, is a person who acts in a normative sense that we can maybe categorize toward what we define as a female, but it's just the act and appearance and movements that they're doing. Just like you go to one different, these are indexed also to different cultural norms and societies. Just like there's a period of time when men actually did wear high heels. This is very common, like the 1776 and a little bit above. This is
They
because
wore
men
makeup
who had-
too and wigs.
They did, and this was because men were considered more attractive based on their calf size. So men actually invented high heels to be able to show these things off. And so when you make this, this is a characteristic that we define as a normative based on societal ideas. When you state these things saying, well, I describe female as someone who just has XY chromosomes, you're just describing a woman. And that's not the argument that's made for trans, is they're saying that they are a woman. They are they're female, they're not a woman. So like you have to have some form of distinction between these two things. And if you don't have a distinction between the two things, you're not using the language correctly.
Yeah, well, here I'll better help Jared here. I can
Are you
describe
that confused where you can't tell the difference between a man and a woman?
Jared. I can't describe my dog as a woman, but I can describe my dog as a female.
Yes.
Your dog
There
is
you
a
go.
female, but it's also an animal. It's not a person.
Humans
But
are
Jared,
animals. So that
Jared,
doesn't help.
if you're not going to listen to anything anybody's going to say, can you just say that right now? Because we've got other people waiting. And if you're
I'm
just
fine
here
listening,
to
but you
tell
guys are
everybody
so
they're
confused and
stupid,
brainwashed by this stuff. It's
you're not,
unbelievable.
but you're
Jared,
not, Jared.
Jared, can
You're
I?
literally not. You're
Jared,
not listening. If you can't be honest about that, what are we doing?
hold on,
Jared.
Jared. I
Lying
apologize.
to yourselves. Goodness gracious.
Jared, what did Jesus say about the eunuchs?
In Galatians 3:20.
Go read it for yourself and find out.
In Galatians
Jared,
3.
you said
Man,
that God
gosh.
created
What
men
is
and
happening? Why are
women.
you guys believing this nonsense? Why are
Because
you guys
Jesus,
believing these lies and Satan?
okay, well, Jesus said it, Jared. Do you not know what Jesus said about the eunuchs?
I'm not talking about these. That's a
Chad.
specific question. Why are you guys
Well, what-
believing?
what-
Hey, Chad.
what-
Once Jared sends his proof of being a male to my DM, I will forward it to your text so you can verify as well.
Jared, what did
You are the dumbest of us ever.
what? Okay,
But anyway, my question is, why are you believing this nonsense?
Jared, it sounds like you're a
Tell me
follower
why.
of Paul and not a follower of Jesus.
Jared, do you know
Come
what
on,
the
I asked the question.
where
I asked
does
the question. Why are you
Jared-
believing this nonsense?
Jared? This is
Why are you
why.
guys following it?
Where does the Y chromosome come from in a person?
I don't know where it comes from.
Passed down by the
Can't tell
father.
the top of my head.
It's passed down by the father.
Hence, like male pattern.
Is God okay? So is God or the Holy Spirit physically male?
What do you think?
I don't know. Are they?
Go ahead. So you don't know at all? Do you not know your Bible?
Yeah, they're not physically male according to the Bible.
Okay.
According
so
to
what
parts
does that
of the
tell you?
Bible. Yeah, so Jesus is XX chromosome, so he would be chromosomally a woman because he would only inherit his mom's chromosomes.
Right.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I mean, unless you
Oh my gosh, you need to go back and study some more, dude. That's terrible.
Jared,
That's so terrible of you.
Jared has
Well,
no
you are
clue
terrible.
what's going on.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about. You are so terrible. Why are you guys believing this nonsense? How did you guys even get hooked on this?
Jared,
It's beyond
why
me.
do you not read a book?
Did God do the deed inside of
Or
Mary?
you guys believe in
Mary?
lies?
Well,
You guys
God-
really think a man is a woman or a woman's a man?
You have-
or they
you
can
haven't-
be the opposite gender?
No,
Come
Jared,
on.
we don't.
You guys know better than
Jared,
that.
we already explained it to you.
Can you provide an
Know
argument?
better than that? Come
Jared,
on.
Jared, can you provide an argument?
No, he can't.
Forget
and I'm
the
really
argument,
done with him
dude.
unless you guys.
You're either a male
do
or
we
you're a
need
female.
to keep
If
him
you're
up
that
here?
confused, you
Honestly,
need help.
he has not said anything, but just repeated that over and over again.
It
Alright,
just
we got-
sounds like he's
And I'm-
trolling, so it's not
It
worth
really
the time if
does.
he's trolling. Yeah, I'll be
It's
honest
not.
with you.
Gothic, were you coming up to say something too, Jared?
Yeah, I was going
Gothic?
to.
Yeah, I
Okay.
figured.
Can I get your age?
31, ma'am.
Okay. Did you want to say what you wanted to say? You can.
Yes. First off, I 100% agree with points 1 and 2. I am
Well-
100% on your side.
Nice.
Trans women
Awesome.
are women. Also, since Jared was all hung up on the Bible, fun little fact, and I learned this through biblical researching through affirming pastors and biblical scholars. Yeah, the prophet Joseph, the guy with the coat who could interpret dreams. For those of you who may not be too familiar with that, the term for coat is more accurately translated as dress. So there is a chance that the prophet Joseph the dream interpreter, was wearing a dress, not a coat in the literal sense. So he was
I
probably
agree.
trans too. If not, he was gender fluid. So put that on your plate and eat it, Mr. J. And
Also,
Jared.
Galatians like 3:28 or 3:18, I can't remember which, but it says that there are neither male nor female in the eyes of Christ.
Exactly. That's that's Ephesians. Absolutely, that is correct.
It's Galatians, actually, I think.
Galatians.
Yeah. I just can't remember which verse. It's chapter 3, either 28 or 18.
What I want to know is, people in the YouTube comments, what did Jared present us with that gives him a W? He had nothing. He had 0 talking points that landed even in the slightest.
His
Yes,
talking
Rex,
points
Doug
were,
bless.
come on, you can't believe this, come on. That was his whole talking point. It literally was, I swear.
Amen.
I heard some of that. That was bad. Oof, Jared was dying up here.
He didn't really want to talk about the topic because he had nothing to really add.
True. He was. I liked how he was like, "Y'all are believing in lies," and I'm sitting here thinking, and he's believing in a corrupt, organized system that has used the teachings of Christ to manipulate and fearmonger for millennia. So,
That's that.
Yep. That is it. Well, I thank you for coming up, Gothic. I'm going to drop you down, leave some room for some ops, but I appreciate you being there.
no problem.
W Gothic in the chat, and if you disagree with the background, go ahead and come on up. Otherwise, I am trying to get things going over here on the Video Ninja, but I hate Chromebooks so freaking much.
All right, you guys know what to do. I think I threatened you guys with X amount of likes, and now I always do this to you guys, and you guys probably think Crystal's not going to punish us. She's going to forget again, and I did. I forgot. I forgot the number, and I forgot the punishment.
I think you said 7:15 to 25, and they'll be there.
Okay.
You got
Okay,
800 to go,
okay.
guys, in 3 minutes.
Okay. I always do forget, though. People are like, she didn't turn the comments off.
But guys, another announcement, since we've kind of went through, I've seen new faces and things. So every live from here on out for the rest of the month will be on an LGBTQ topic for the first half, and then we'll go to talking about the Bible the second half, or Islam, or whatever comes up. Blue Duck, that is a good way to get banned from my live. So please don't make comments like that. But in one night during this month, we are going to do Pride Night, where we're just going to have, I hopefully have a trans woman that has transitioned. They are just past a year into their transition, and their wife, coming on to talk about their journey, and hopefully some other members of the LGBTQ community will come up and kind of share their experience and kind of answer some questions and give us an idea as a deconstruction community as a whole how we can further move along the progressiveness of these ideologies and help the communities. So stay tuned this month. We will be definitely doing a lot more of this on trans men. And learn me something, please. We can talk about trans men as well. Yep.
Okay, ground control down there said, why aren't there any girls transitioning into men and wanting to use the men's restroom? And
that is happening.
There are. Do you know why you guys don't care about it? Why don't you care about it?
Because they can't use it as a talking point.
Exactly. You can't fear monger somebody.
You seriously never heard of a trans man? You've never seen anybody that's had gynecomastia.
My son-in-law is a trans man.
Sasha Allen, look him up on TikTok. You're on TikTok right now. Sasha Allen is somebody that, like, I follow him, and he has great content. He is a singer, and he talks a lot about, like, the discrimination against him, like, when he has to go to the gynecologist because he was born with a vagina, so he still has to go to a gynecologist, and he gets a lot of hate, even from the doctors and nurses that he's had to see. So, like, this is a very real issue, even for trans men. We just don't hear about it as much because it's not politicized.
There's some trans men out there that are way more manly than probably most of the people that are disagreeing with this right now.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, Bones is my, like, favorite song.
Yep, that is an amazing song for sure.
Okay.
Also, like another famous trans man is
Trans man.
Cher's son, Chaz Bono.
Yeah, that's true, Chaz.
Wait, hold on. Nash, if you think that it's a different gender, then and it's associated with, and gender is associated with sex, you're saying that there are more than two sexes. Nash, how progressive of you for also recognizing individuals under the spectrum.
And Tom, trans women are women, not trans women. Trans women are women. You messed up your sentence there. I just wanted to help you out there.
I like how they straw man these phrases every time to say men are not women, and nobody is disagreeing with you guys. Not a single person in here is disagreeing with you that men are not women. That's literally a contradiction. Trans women, though, are women. So when you want to argue against it, you need to say trans women aren't women, and then we can have a conversation. When you just dismiss it with a straw man right out the gate, it's just an ignorant talking point that the right has pushed very hard.
It's really not hard, guys. Come on. Gender and sex.
Define a trans woman. Somebody that was assigned male at birth, but is and identifies as a woman.
Yeah, Nash, come up. We'll civilly discuss this with you. If you want to ask these questions in good faith and be genuine, and not just say, "What the hell? What?" and then not make any kind of counter argument or anything, then yeah, we'll talk with you. We'll be able to explain this, and maybe hopefully, teach you a little thing.
Well, I need to people share this out with Jeff for Truth. Maybe we can get a good conversation going in here.
Please don't do that.
I'm kidding. He has me blocked, I'm sure.
Don't do that.
Can I come up? I just wanna be respectful and share my perspective. Yeah, Ryan. We may have like things to say back to your opinion or perspective, but yeah, you're more than welcome. That's what this live is: opposition and people, because this is about learning.
As long as you are an adult.
Yes, as long as you are an adult.
Ryan, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, for sure. I'm 23.
Okay, Okay. Well, Ryan, trans women are women, and women should use the women's restroom.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I would agree for the most part. I'm bisexual myself. I've dated trans women myself. I fully agree with that. That's fine. No problems with trans women at all. I the only thing I would say is um like it just depends for me how far along in the transition you are, because I just don't like the ability to just say you're a woman now and then go into a women's restroom and then present if you have that intention.
Ryan,
Now that's not all the time.
hold on,
That's
hold
not all
on.
the time.
Ryan,
So,
are
oh,
you saying that you prefer individuals that are? You said you're bi, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I'm
so
assuming you're a woman. I shouldn't assume.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
my pronouns are she, her. I'm also bi.
Okay.
And I understand a distinction between polysexual, pansexual, and bisexual. I am bisexual, and it's not because I have any prejudice. I just have never been introduced to a trans woman or man in that sexual nature that I've just been hey, I want to have schmex with them, or I'm physically attracted to them.
Mhm.
So, but are you specifically saying that it's because you aren't attracted to genitalia, which wouldn't make sense from a bisexual
Well,
perspective?
personally, I'm not attracted to the male form. I like the female form. I like
You're not
if you
bisexual.
if you like I've been with men. I've been with women.
You're
I've been with
polysexual, Ryan.
sorry, I'm not good with the terms. I haven't done too much research. Just kind of my parents were super religious, so I was
Okay.
raised that way. So it wasn't I haven't had a whole lot of
Can I
information
can I
with them.
ask
But
a question real quick?
absolutely.
Ryan, which restroom do you use?
Oh, I use the men's restroom.
Okay, so
I consider
why do
myself a
you
man.
care who goes in my restroom?
Well, I have a daughter. So
Uh-huh.
I want to
You
make sure
don't let
she's
your
safe.
daughter go to a public bathroom by herself, do you?
Oh, no.
Okay,
I
so
just mean
again, why do you
when
care
she's
who's in
older
my
and
bathroom?
she's older. I just because generally
Do
speaking,
you
I don't think this
do you
happens
think?
generally, but
Uh-huh.
for the rare case that it does happen, I just don't want that
Uh,
to be a situation
Ryan,
that she has
it
to deal with.
never happens. I've been a woman all my life,
Hmm.
and I'm almost 60. It
Hmm.
never happens. I have
So
never ever listen.
sorry.
I have never feared a trans woman in my bathroom. Do you know what I
Hmm.
do fear?
Yes. Well, sorry. What?
What? I fear a cis straight white man in my bathroom.
Yeah. That's really what I'm trying to
Right.
get to. I fear my
Okay,
fear is
so
that a
guess what?
cis white straight
Nobody
man.
has to
Right.
dress up like a woman to
No, no.
get into that bathroom.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
Ryan.
If
Right.
they're going to assault me, they're going to do it. They don't need to
Hmm.
dress up. So telling
Yeah.
me that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't want a trans woman in my
No,
bathroom,
I'm cool with the trans
uh,
girls being in the bathroom. I'm fine with that. I'm just
as long as
worried
they
for that
don't
rare
have
scenario.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
rare
what?
scenario
That's all. I'm not
is
saying I don't want them there.
yeah.
I'm just saying I'm worried
Right.
for that.
Ryan, the problem's going to be is if people that do want to push legislation and things that keep trans women out of women's restrooms, they are pushing legislation that wants people that look like this in women's restrooms, which would open the door for straight men to
Yeah.
enter bathrooms a lot more than
Mhm.
somebody going through a whole struggle of transitioning to hurt women.
Right.
This right here would be what's in your restroom rather than trans, or in your daughter's restroom rather than trans
You
women.
wouldn't have to put a wig on or anything. You would just
Yeah,
go
and
in.
I don't like that. I agree with you on that. I
Hold on,
100%
hold
agree
on.
with you on that.
I don't
Um,
know if Ryan is genuous or not
oh,
because
sorry.
yeah, you describe yourself as bi,
Mhm.
and then you said you're not attracted to masculinity.
So I like men that are more like twinks or more feminine
Okay.
Do you
Never
like me,
mind.
Ryan?
um I'm not personally attracted, but you probably got a fat ass, brother.
Yeah, okay, Ryan, I would look up the term polysexual then. 'Cause I was
Okay, I'll
confused.
definitely look that up right after this because I just haven't done a whole lot of research on the terms per se.
No,
Like
that's fine. Because
I don't
when
know
you
anything like
said
that.
you were bi and you're like, well, but I don't. That's what
Sorry,
I
that's
was
just
like.
the
Are
closest
you?
thing I know to what I am. You know.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just
I
Um,
do.
it was
I,
highly
I do
Sarah,
confused.
want to say one thing for real for Ryan, you guys. Instead of worrying about the fact of like there could be a trans person in that bathroom that could harm my daughter, you should teach your daughter to one ever when you're going to public restrooms, never go alone. Always go with a friend. That is why you will see women who always go to the bathroom together. We're not
Yep.
going in there to gossip. We're going in there to protect each other. They make it look like on sitcoms that we all go to the bathroom to gossip, but that's not why we do it. Teach your child how to be safe, how to scream, how to protect themselves. Do things like that instead of thinking that this one thing might be out. We know who might be out to get your daughter, and it's not a trans woman.
No, I agree. I agree. And like, um, I just it was just like it was just like a simple worry. It's not really like too much. Like obviously I'm gonna like teach her how to like protect herself, teach her how to like be safe and all that. I just wanted to express that small concern. It's not really anything big, because again, it's so rare that it is not even
Right.
like like, or if it even has happened, I don't have any statistics or anything like that. But I
Well,
was
Ryan,
just
I
something I
do.
saw on a TikTok and somewhere else, and I was like, I just wanted to bring that up. That's all,
Ryan, it's
respectfully.
so much of a non-issue
Mhm.
that when we are talking about pregnant women, the number one reason for their unalivement is men. When we're cis white men, actually that's not even just white men, in that just cis men.
hmm
When we're talking about issues on violence upon women, it is not trans individuals at all. It's so minute that I have literally would, if I were choosing bear versus man versus trans woman or trans men, I would go to the trans woman and trans man.
Oh, I'd take the
Because
trans man too, or woman or man.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
I'd take
like
that too.
facts,
It is more
facts,
likely
no
that a
facts.
trans person will be hurt in a bathroom by violent
That's
crime
true.
than a woman will.
That's true. That is fair. Yeah.
Yeah, factual. Ryan, thanks for coming up, man. I'm gonna make some room for another guest, but you
I
were
did.
a pleasant guest, and I think that you were being genuine, and I do appreciate that.
Okay. I would like to come up again at another time. I like to play devil's advocate occasionally, so I'll just argue against you guys respectfully, obviously.
Right on.
But like I was raised religious, like a Catholic, so
Yep.
I've got a lot on that. Not necessarily like my personal beliefs now, but the way I was raised, I have some arguments that have been brought up that I have not heard a defense for yet. So I would like to bring those up, but
Oh
if
yeah.
we need to get that on the next one, all good.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll, at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be changing topics to God is evil,
Okay.
and if you want to come up then and talk to us about some of them topics, you're more than welcome to come up.
Okay, absolutely.
All right. See ya.
All right.
I want to address something from the comments earlier. Let me find it. It was, why do trans women fight for bathroom rights more so than trans men? It's because men don't care about trans men as much, because the issue is conservatives are so homophobic that they know they're attracted to trans women, and so like all of their rage goes to the trans women, not to the trans men. They don't care about the trans men. It's a non-issue for them.
but we know what's gonna happen if we use their Pornhub search history.
Oh, I guarantee you they have all kinds of trans stuff in there. Um, guarantee it. Did you see Elon Musk's post today on X?
About
Yeah.
Epstein.
Yeah, that is so funny. That is fucking hilarious. Um, But anyway, guys, if you disagree, get in the Video Ninja if you're over on YouTube. We can have a discussion over there on Video Ninja, or get up here in TikTok. We will only be doing this topic for another half hour, and then we are going to move on to a more biblical topic. We're going to do a restart, I think, on both YouTube and TikTok this time. It seems like once numbers dwindle on YouTube, it never picks back up. So we'll probably do a double restart. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those, Aaron, because I had to I had to get ready for this and take care of the kid stuff before I could do this. So, Haji, thanks for stopping in. It's nice to see you in here, as always.
I wanted to thank you for teaching me a little bit, one more term, like polysexual. I did not know that term. And because I would consider myself more pansexual.
That's
I say I'm gay because it's like an 80-20 thing. But yeah, like I've seen lesbians that I'm like attracted to as a gay man. And I've also seen, you know, like women, like trans women that I've been attracted to, like as a quote unquote like straight man. And that I would think, and I've also seen like, you know, androgynous people that I'm like, hey, I think that they're hot. So like I think that fits more into the pansexual.
Yeah, that fits in pan.
Okay.
And yeah. my friend came out to me a couple of years, and he goes, hey, you're pretty knowledgeable on this stuff. I really like trans women. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, I was like, are you like coming out to me? He's like, yeah. Is there like a word for it? And I was like, I actually don't know. So we both took the time and looked it up, and I was like, oh yeah, there is a term, and this was like several years back. It's called polysexual, which I'm definitely not, because I'm attracted to both the masculine and feminine form, but I don't know, because like I don't want to like dive into my corn history, but like there's some things, maybe I'm pan, maybe I'm not, you know.
Right. Without diving into mine, like I know exactly what you mean, and I don't care, you know, kind of
yeah
thing.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, like this is the thing for me.
Let's rate everybody's corn history. I'm just kidding. No.
I am 2.5 years without it, so I am not even going to talk about it.
I took that like purity test thing or whatever, the one that's like seeing how kinky you are and stuff. And I like there was only like 7 things that I had not done or like wanted to do, and like out of 100.
8K is like, what did I walk into? No, but like it's also like, not, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. It's like not bad. As long as it's not harming anyone. But like, yeah, there are technically like words for this. There's actually a polysexual flag as well.
Interesting. You know,
Yeah.
I really appreciate, like, that's why I love these discussions. I feel like even though I feel like I might have it nailed down, you learn something new.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting, to the degrees or the spectrum of human attraction and sexuality that there are. I think it's awesome. I think it's amazing,
right,
how much love we have for each other, to put it in that term.
Yeah, fluid, like it's very, well, not fluid in the like literal sense, but like fluid as in it's very organic. It's not very rigid, you know. It's interesting because
I just want to know if Joyful's family is watching right now.
Oh, probably.
I'm sure that some of them are lurking in the shadows.
Well, hi, Joyful's family. If you want, you can like go look this up too. I'm sure it's gonna
She's like, I sure learned a few things. That's my mom right there. Yeah, that's a little embarrassing. I don't like to talk about my corn history in front of my mother, but
Well,
It's
we're
what
not
it
supposed
is.
to talk about corn at all on my live, so
We're not.
You
I was
broke
going
a
to talk
rule.
about like some corn on the cob, some cream corn.
I like cream corn. I
I
like
didn't
corn
know
on the
this was a
cob.
rule. I'm so sorry.
no, I'm kidding. It's nothing. It's fine. I'm just kidding.
she's like, don't be embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. It takes a lot to be embarrassed.
No, it's I am like on a corn like I was addicted to it. So like I'm like 2.5 years away, 2 and 8 months away from it. So like me and Benny, every time Benny brings it up, I always give him shit on the phone. So it was more of a joke towards Benny.
Well, I will definitely keep that as a note. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Crystal, part of my commercial Crystal gives, it talks about corn hub. So
It's true. I do.
so it's not a big deal. It's more of a joke with Benny because I give him shit.
But I'm trying to get people to cancel it. Is what I'm trying to do.
There
And to
you
be
go.
fair.
There you go. There you
So
go.
that they could get free corn online, though. Huh?
Yeah, it's free, guys. It's free. Trust me, I know. Anyway, so guys, if there are no takers, we may do a restart now. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. We're going to restart both YouTube and our TikTok. And we're going to come back with God is Evil and see what we can't get there.
Yeah, I'll probably not come back up just because I have the Switch too, and I need to play some games on it. Get my money's worth. I'll be listening.
Oh, you got the Switch too?
Yeah.
Ooh. I didn't hear that earlier. You said you were playing the Switch. I didn't realize it was the Switch too.
Mm-hmm. That's how I was talking to my friend from like childhood, because they have like a really cool like chat feature where you don't have to put on like headphones or anything. You just like ring each other up within the Switch and like talk to each other. It was really cool.
Oh, that's crazy. Right on, guys. Well, I'm going to do a restart on both YouTube and TikTok. I hope to see you all here shortly. Ashlyn, if you'd like to come back up, you can. If not, that's fine too. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. When we do these topics, you are so much more knowledgeable, especially on the trans stuff. And so it's like really nice having you as a resource. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And I have a little bit more time to hang out. I have to go to work tonight, but I actually have some good ethical arguments on the evil one that I've kind of formulated.
Okay.
Yeah. I try to kind of stay out because I know there are a lot more people more knowledgeable on the God topic, but I would be interesting to run them.
Oh, for sure. Come on up when we restart. Hey, y'all, it's Janet. Thanks.